Hello, SirRocksAlot. Happy Sunday. Get everything ready here. So while we wait for a few people to come in, I am SirRocksAlot. I do lives pretty much Thursdays and Sundays, and throw out some shorts during the week. Not my own shorts, but shorts. And yeah, and a couple of videos here and there. So try to mix it up as much as I can, and we're going to do that again today. I've sort of prepped up today, but you never know what could happen and which direction we may go. It may change. So I hope you enjoy it, and if you do, go ahead and hit that like. I'd appreciate it. Maybe hang out for a quarter of an hour, whatever it is you like. And if you have any suggestions, just put them in the chat. I'd really appreciate it. And then likes and subscribes are absolutely awesome. Not required, but it really helps me, and I don't think it's any cost to you guys. So yeah, I'd be out here anyway, and I'm glad you're here to join me, so thanks. So what are we going to do today? Let's have a look. Boom, boom. So I've got a few things. So first off, let me thank Addi, and thank you, appreciate that. For those who don't know Addi, she is the family member of one of our good friends up in Wisconsin, Steve. And this material comes back. Thank you. This material comes back from August of 2024, I think it was. So I've got a few pieces that are Providence Lost. Hi everybody, welcome in. So yeah, just going to work on some stuff. A few things that came in from Wisconsin. It's now a year and a half. So that shows how quick I get to some stuff. But these are just some little pieces that I brought out to show. Like I'm going to use this piece of DeShoots to... hi everybody, welcome in. To do some backing with that. And if you missed the intro right there, so this is Addi's artwork from August of 2024. This is the family member of Steve up in Wisconsin. If you guys remember all the sales they did up there, this was just a little extra that came along, and I know a few of you may also have got these in your packages. So it's been a while since I've hit this material, and let's have a look what we got in here today. Let's get a little bit of extra light. And let's see, so this was some of the Veracite, Lucian Veracite, so it's just got some greens in it, and we might cut a little piece of that, some greens and browns. I have a piece of Royston ribbon that we will cut. Don't know how it's going to come out. It's got a really nice ribbon on this side, and just a little bit showing on this side. So welcome in everybody. Hope you're having a good weekend and a great Sunday. If I could, I would get everybody off tomorrow, because you might have Tuesday off too, and that would be my preference. Give everybody a nice long weekend. So if you are able to, if somebody could hit something in the chat just so that I know it's working, that would be great. Boop, boop, boop. Anyway, so I'm not sure. Thank you. Hey Don, how you doing? So piece of ribbon. That opal guy, I don't know if you, I think you probably were, but we did all the sales up in Wisconsin when they started the business, and these are just some of the pieces from then. So it's been a year and a half. So the matrix on this is a little buggy, and Royston ribbon, as you can see, that turquoise goes all the way through. But rather than trying to cut one stone out of a piece this big with the with the seam going all the way across. They chopped it and left the matrix for... Hi Husky, welcome in. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, so we're going to do that one. That should be one. And then I got a couple of pieces that I know they had previously been backed, but nobody knew where they came from. And so this was, yeah, 22nd, oh no, 22nd of June, I'm sorry, not even August of 2024. So it's been a while. This was one, no idea what's in there. You can see the little quartzy pieces. There's some big holes in the middle, so I don't know how well that's gonna come out, but we'll try and bring it down some. Pre-backed already, and I guess some wax paper on there too. Hey, which one, Husky? Oh, I won one. Yes, I did. That Pietra. The Pietra fire agate that I won yesterday looks fantastic. I was just reading actually where they thought the Chinese satellite came down over Florida yesterday, or this morning. No, yesterday morning. So we're going to do that one. And then I got another piece that's backed. Yeah, I think I have one piece over in Kyle's in my box. It was one of those carnelian marbles. I think it's last week or the week before. Don't know what this is. Pre-backed already. And don't know if it'll hold together, but we'll try and make something out of that. Pretty high dome. That should be cool. Let me just show a few other things while we're in here. So we're going to do that one, and that one. If I have time, well, we might do a piece of the lapis. So I'm going to do the... None of this is really clean, actually, because it's got the backing on it. But we might try a piece of the lapis that I got from the estate sale. Pretty nice stuff. A little bit of matrix to it. Really nice color. And let's see if we can wet that. Hopefully we'll make something nice out of that. So that'll be number 4. And then if we really have time, I might get mucky. And, well, I can explain about this. So this is Persian turquoise. A lot of pyrite in it. But some of you may not know that it comes in a really odd matrix. It's almost concrete. And so you have these little pieces of matrix in here. This is a nice matrix because it's got a little bit of color to it, but this gray stuff is hard to work around. This is a good chunky piece. Got a lot of pyrite on the top right here. But because of the pyrite, it's going to make a lot of mess. And it'll be like a deep black that comes off of the wheels. So we shall see. But we'll give that a try at the end, I think. And then if I feel like it, I might jump outside real quick. So this is a piece from the Wisconsin sale as well. And this is extremely rare stuff because it's only been peed on once. But the story is that Steve jumped out of the truck to go take a quick leak on the side of the road out in the desert and came across a rock. And he saw a little color in it. And this is just one of the slices from it. And that's why it has this nickname of pea brain. And I haven't cut any of it because it's pretty rare stuff. And that green goes all the way through. And that's probably going to be pretty dark too. But we might slice off here somewhere and see if we can make something out of that. So could be a fairly long session. But so just pop in and out. I'd love you to pop in and out. I'd love you to stay. And I think we're going to start. Well, let's move over. And if I didn't tell you guys already, this was from Steve's family member. This was sent along with a package back then, 2024. And Yeah, his family member helped out the whole sale. So putting up with Dave and Steve and everybody else in the house was pretty nice. Yeah, I think we get led to things sometimes, Husky. A lot of the time. Um, I should run inside and bring out the giant piece of carnelian that I found at an estate sale yesterday, day before yesterday. All right, we're going to take a quick ride over here, hopefully. Maybe. There we go. Yeah, there you go. Let's tighten that up. That should be a good angle. And we're going to get in here a little closer. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. I don't know. I used to go on some pretty long road trips with my family, and there were 4 of us in the back seat. So I had quite a few of those bests. But, yeah, back in those days, you'd jump out of the car on the side of the motorway. All right, let's try. Why don't we do the ribbon first? Why not? I don't know how this is going to work out. I'm going to try and keep. I can round off the edges a little bit. I kind of see where I want to go. I almost want to take this bottom off. That sort of, it's like a little bit of skin that was probably on the whole rock. And you can see some sort of, not quite a marquee in there, but something similar. So, hi Risha, I am right now I'm in the United States, but I've lived all over the world. And that's where my voice comes from. Aha, Freckle Cat in the house. Let's see how we do today. So I got all my Riker displays in a couple of days ago, so I don't know if we're going to start with October and... Why is this one not working? Quick blowback on that one. Alright. Scared me for a second. I thought... And now I lost my train of thought. That's okay. So I want to thank everybody from the sales last night. Ray and Pepper and Dave and Aaron. You guys did a phenomenal job. It's not easy with people sometimes. Alright, I think we're going in. Let's see how hard it is. This is not treated. If I have too many what I call air pockets, then I may treat it afterwards. I'm wondering if I should just get out the stencil, but I'm gonna let it do whatever it wants to do. Welcome in, Risha. I appreciate that. My family do have a background in India as well. Although I don't speak any of the dialects. Sometimes. but not usually. Okay, so actually the ribbon actually went all the way through, but I like this side better. So I do have to take off this edge right here to flatten it out. And I think it was Ryan that suggested getting a flat lap, which I was looking at the last couple of days, and funny. So rarely do I use stencils. And I do have a little bit of a brag, I guess. I'll show you guys later. Yeah, just getting a general shape over here. I got some little bit of a cracker up here. I don't know if that'll pop out here or not, so I gotta be careful around that. It looks pretty good. It's not very hard. It's a matrix. Like I said, it's not stabilized. This is all natural. And there was a little bit of Royston at the sale yesterday or the day before. Yeah, it's chipped out the backside on there and chipped out up top. So I'm going to bring this back in some more really softly, hopefully. Maybe that 80 grit was a little too aggressive. It's almost gone. But I do have a little leeway because it's fatter on this end than the other end, so I got to bring it into there. And if this gets too crumbly, so sometimes stones, rocks, material, whatever you want to call it, it could be turquoise, could be anything really. Sometimes they're pretty porous, so when they get stored dried for 30 years or 40 years, they dry out. They dry out pretty solid, but when you go ahead and rehydrate them, they can become pretty brittle and cracky, and you got to be careful. If that makes any sense whatsoever. I think it does. Similar to how opal crazes without water, but kind of like anything really. If you dry it out, clay, whatever it is, if you dry it out enough, and it cracks over the time, and it still holds together because it's solid. It's dried solid, but when you add water to it, it gives it just enough flexibility that it just breaks apart. So be wary when you're sourcing out some of your material that you could even do a test piece maybe. Hi everybody, welcome in. Hope you're having a good Sunday. Beautiful outside today. I don't know if you've all seen the moon the last couple of days. I saw Tomcat Josh, if you want to go to his channel, is putting out some awesome sunsets from the west coast. It's pretty good. Get my shape where I want it though. Want it more overly or more marquee than tic-tacky. I'm not a big fan of tic-tacs. Well, I love tic-tacs, and just not a big fan of tic-tac shaped stones. So I guess that's good. Did it go from closest to furthest, Tusky? I mean, I know we had one of the biggest moons in a while, so I assume that it's going to be pretty dark out tonight, which would make it a great night to go out and look at the stars. You can get away from the city lights. Okay, it's not too bad. I need to take it right there. So the back actually ended up looking really nice too. So I could almost double side it, but for right now, I'm going to. So 18 years, so I've only seen 2 of them then. Well, we might have to take a drive out, I guess, maybe later tonight and see. It doesn't take us long to get out. Alright, I'm going to take this bottom edge just so it doesn't chip out, all the way around the bottom, just at a very light 45 degrees. I don't know if you can see that. I just took the edge off the bottom right there. Alright, now we're going to go 45 pretty hard all the way around. Bringing my girdle down, probably, so this is where I got to be careful. So bringing the girdle down to like 4 or 5 millimeters, probably 5. I gotta be really careful going around this corner here. So this is where it's gonna chip out. I'm going really light right now. Hoping to get around there. I think I did. Just bringing that down again. All the way around this edge. Now again, I just got this end to do, and I gotta go really careful because I don't want it to chip out. So I'm being careful about where the actual seam of turquoise is, because that's where it's most likely to chip out, which is right down the middle of the stone. Hi, Obscure. Welcome in. I can get closer. I can bring you in. I just can't get my phone too close because this is spitting water. And I'm not sure if you were referring to how much you can see of the stone, stone that I'm doing, or you were referring to the stars in the mist. I did see where they had like a mini meteor shower this morning. I guess it was like bright green down in Florida, and I think they're saying it was some Chinese satellite that went up there in 2019. You got a lot of space junk up there. I hope we don't fill it up completely, because we won't be able to get out. then kind of like the ocean, we'll end up trying to put up orbital ships that can take the debris out of the outer orbit. Sometimes we're not smart for being smart. Hi everybody. I see 67 in here right now. Thank you for joining. Hope you're having a great weekend. I hope some of you have an extended weekend in remembrance of our veterans. I know it's Remembrance Day over in Europe today. When I was at, see, I went too low right here, so I'm going to bring that in, but that was part of that outer skin, so I did too, Marlene, and I was very happy to see her. I did say hi when I was in there. She sounded really good. I know she's going through a lot. And I don't think people understand, people with autoimmune diseases, how much it really hurts, and it's not something that you can see from the outside, so people aren't always the best in understanding what they're going through, which is a shame, really. Man, I'm going to end up tic-tacky again, but I got to bring this little seam out. It's too soft. So, let's keep going. I'm only taking out matrix, so I'm not taking out any of the seam lengths, so it's okay. But yeah, seeing Beth on her channel was fantastic. Seemed like they're raring to go and get back into it. Hi Dan, how you doing today? Sandra, welcome in. Lisa, welcome in. Jean-Pierre, welcome in. Jean-Pierre Petit. Angling over a little bit. We got a tiny bit right there to go. I got to get that out, and then I will reshape the edge again on the top end there. All right, this got harder, so that's good. That's funny. Difference in hardness between what we just took off and where I am in the matrix right now is like 1 or 2 on the nose scale. Everybody hear me okay today? I wonder about the news these days, Husky. Especially like the meteorologists. I think we all qualify. Yeah, weather channels, I think they set us up a little bit. Not with hurricanes and giant storms, but when they tell you there's 60% chance of rain, and then it's beautiful sunshine for 3 days. Okay, that's looking better now. Really nice blue. So I guess you would call that a true Royston blue right there. Okay, now I got to do the bottom again. So by taking off all that material on the top, I got to go through all those stages again to get it consistent all the way around the stem. So the girdle angle, the angle into the dome, The little beveling of 45 degrees on the bottom. I gotta redo all this. Okay, come on. That's good. I might go live again in the next couple of days. I'm going to be here for a while today. So you're quite welcome. I would love for you, if you have to go out, come back in. Maybe have lunch, whatever it is you're up to. Spending any time with me at all is very much appreciated. And the channel's doing fantastic. I can't believe what's going on. Let me move you over a little bit. Hi, my Captiva. Everything's pretty good. Really good. I'm not working today, so that's good. Had fun at the sales the last couple of days. Just even watching to see what people were purchasing. When was it? Last night? Friday night. I missed probably, I don't know, the last 45 minutes to an hour. I fell asleep. With, of all people, Dave in my ear. So. It's funny how all of you become part of the family without even knowing it, especially the ones that have channels. So just to mention channels while I'm talking about it, there's obviously Lapidary Dave. One of my favorites is the Opal Mills and Phil. Of course, there's Justin. Love Robert over at Global Prospecting. And we've got, what do we got? Not Jacob. I think it's Jacob Rockhound Smithery is new. He was Agate Bay, I think. So he just switched his name up. Of course, there's Kyle over at World of Rockhounds. And then we got all my jewelry friends. So Kirsten over at Kirsten Resale, Red Resale. And Tanya at My Jewelry Addiction. You've got Jody's Jewels. And Haley. I forget the whole channel. Haley, I apologize. And I did do an unboxing for Haley. I have not uploaded it yet. And I think I was, for some reason I was saying Hallie, but I think it's Haley. I don't know how long she's been doing sales on YouTube, but she has some awesome inventory. And then who else have we got? I got Jason Adams and his channel. And then two of my favorites, Wendy Walker at Wolf Walker Collectibles, and Christy over at Ladies Who Loot. Alright, just getting a bit of a dome on this. I need to clean up my geysers a little bit. I'm not spitting as much water as I like. Yeah, this is actually polishing much better than I thought. I'm only on the third wheel. Let's give it a quick dry. And it's not polishing yet, but it does have less little bugs in it. It's got a few little tiny ones here and here. It's starting to look really nice. Hi everybody, welcome in. Hey Ben, how you doing? Hope you're having a good weekend. If any of you are service members or retired, thank you for your service. I wouldn't be able to do this on a Sunday without you guys, so thank you. And growing up in Europe, where I did in Belgium, you're a lot closer to where things were happening, very close. So Bruges and Calais and Dunkirk and Brittany, and then from the other side, from the English side, and Dover, and all the way up the coast. And then in Belgium, I was close to where the Battle of Waterloo occurred, and where all the poppies pop up in the farmers' fields. So they don't necessarily cultivate poppies, they're just all over the place at this time of year, naturally. And that's kind of why they use one of the reasons they use the poppy on Remembrance Day over there in Europe. But they had trenches throughout all the farmers' lands around me. And pretty amazing, although unsettling history. This is turning out really nice. Just going over this top a little bit more. Make sure I get those scratches out from those first two metal wheels. If I do a good job here, those next three wheels shouldn't take too much. You can see the spots on my fingers in here for where I get worn out on the wheel, and that's why I'm wearing these dinky things. Hey everybody, thank you so much for all those thumbs up. That's fantastic. We've got Veterans Day Tuesday, and we're almost at Thanksgiving. And then, should I say it on live? Why not? I'm gonna lose some weight next year. I'm a pretty big guy even without my belly. I'm gonna try and trim it up a little bit. But I've done pretty well. I don't eat that much bread and carbohydrates anymore. I don't know why that happened. I just stopped doing it. Alright, I'm pretty happy with that. What do you think? That's just stage 3. Very happy with stage 3. Let's get a little bit of a highlight for myself. Do that one more time. Pink. Really nice. Alright, let's move over to... Both of these are going to get pretty dirty. So let's do the little one, because we kind of know what that looks like, and then we'll move over to the bigger one. I have zero idea what it looks like underneath. So let's move back over here. We can even get a little closer. There we go. Under the 80 grip. Let me get something to... Fancy that. Oh, almost got. I need to drink something, excuse me. Yeah, that's a really nice, I mean, I like ribbon. I like to have full faces also though. But I think the way it gets mined, at least you're not throwing it out and trying to get that little sliver of seam out of there. I don't think I have it here, but I have some from Just Sandy that is pretty cool. Alright. No idea. Backed with JB Weld, I believe. And no idea what, maybe that, something like that. Let's see. Get in a little bit there. Get a little extra light. Here we go. How's that? That's good. Just going around the edges. Wow, it's pretty soft. At least that edge is pretty soft. I don't know if the whole thing's soft. I'm going to go in just a little bit more. Get this little rough spots out here. Oh, I don't know what broke. What just broke? Oh, okay. That was an odd sound. It clipped right off, and that JB Well popped right out. That's interesting. Was not expecting that. I thought it was my finger. Scared myself just a little bit there. Hi everybody. Hope you're having a great day. I don't put background music. One, I like the sound of this, but I'm not monetized yet, and maybe one day I'll get there with your guys' help. But if I do get there, I didn't want to get some marks on some of my videos for playing copyrighted stuff in the background. Okay, I'm getting there now. That's come in enough. Kind of like the shape. Gotta watch out for these little areas here so they don't pop out and fracture. But I love those little florets in there. It's I think rather than bringing this top edge down on the girdle or the dome, I'm gonna do it on this one right here. It'll be slower, but it'll be less detrimental to the stone, I think. We can always go back if I'm wrong, but no. See how quick that was? Just so. Gonna bring it down some. Gonna try and get a fairly high dome out of this. Bring it all the way down to about 5 millimeters on the girdle. I'm going really slow. Yeah, I like, so with both stones actually, Husky, I do like when there is some sort of matrix or contrast to pop the blues or greens or pop whatever color it is, you know, more vibrant. And I think things, so even on this stone, so even just having that black in there kicks that blue out a little bit extra. And that's the same when you're doing with silver work. That's silver, but people like to oxidize the silver because then this polished silver that shows really stands out, and then also the stone or whatever it is that you've set in there also pops out too. So I'm with you on that one. I wish I had the car. I gotta start making some stuff. I was going through these stones last night. I have quite a lot of material to go through, and I have to decide which ones I'm just going to sell as finished stones, and which ones I would like to get to silversmith myself. So I don't know why I'm putting the silversmithing off. I kind of enjoyed it. So trying to bring this down a little bit while keeping it down. I'm getting there. Wow, and that blue's coming out nicely too. Okay. A little bit more. It's actually a really nice stone. Let's move over to the soft wheel. Me neither. I mean, actually, I'm doing okay. Have a few. I'm doing pretty well for my age, I think. And if you were gonna, I don't know about the rest of you, so I kind of know where Freckle Cat is, but where, what age would you generally say your mindset is at? Because I'd be like, I don't know, I'm like 13, 14 still. One day I'll mature, but I'm working on that. Oh, that's nice. Really nice. Bit of a dome. I can bring this edge down just a tiny bit more. But that's a lovely stone. Hi everybody, welcome in. 8131 is what I'm showing on my screen, which is pretty good. What's that, 30%? So if you signed in, I would love if you could hit that thumbs up button. Just helps it push the video out to a few more people. And if it's your first time here, or second or third, and you haven't subscribed yet, I try to go live on Thursday afternoon, sort of late afternoon tea time, so 5:30, and then I go live again on a Sunday, just after lunch, so you can have your lunch, and then if you are watching football or whatever it is you're doing, you can have me running in the background too. Or if you would like me on Friday, you can fall asleep in the middle of the auction and the phone on my chest. I'm glad I didn't hit that live button while I was like nodding off. Well, it may happen one day, we'll see. Alright. See, I find quite a lot of ladies mature much quicker than boys or men. And then I also think they keep some of that think they keep a really good, a much better imagination than men do sometimes too. Which I think makes them almost more creative than us too. I said that on live, so I can clip that out if I have to. Alright, extremely happy with that. Okay, I lost some of that dome. That's okay. Bring it down a little bit here. Yeah, not bad. Yeah, very happy with that. So that's 2 down. Forgot what we did with the other one. What did I do with it? Oh, there we go. Yeah, I could almost stop there, but we won't. But that's pretty nice. So this next one, I have no idea what's in it. Where are we? It is pretty ugly looking. I wanted to think it was Nila or Nila, and I'm saying that because of these little bits of quartz in there. You can see those. I don't know if that's like pyrite, hematite right there. It's very thin in these bottom crevices right here. And I don't really see any peekaboo colors popping out. Maybe a little bit there. Oh, so this one, this is who knows or who done it. Today 9. You grew up some then. Alright, let's see what we got under here. Gonna go really soft. It's been backed for a reason. Hopefully it's backed just because it's so thin, not necessarily because it's really soft. We're going to bring that edge in all the way around. I might have to cut this one in 2 to maximize the faces. I'm wondering if this is a piece that I slipped in the wrong bag too. So going by the color that I can see right now, I'm thinking I may have backed this one. And looking at the color, I'm pretty sure it's Nila, which is from Nevada. From RA Stoneworks. I might be wrong. I'm not sure. I'm wondering if I put this in the wrong bag, having backed it myself. Well, thanks, Husky, for coming in. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you participating in the chat and everything, too. So thank you so much. And we will see you, if not in one of my lives, I will see you in one of the other chats, maybe jewelry or stones, whatever it happens to be. But I hope you have a good rest of the weekend, and thank you so much. We're gonna get too much, but you see that quartz? Yeah, this is Nevada for sure. I don't know what we're gonna get out of this. I don't know if we're going to get anything out of this. Alright, let's take this top off. That means this quartz piece is going to pop out over here. But let's see what happens. What I love about the Nila is it's like that real natural turquoise color. Sometimes a little bit greener, but earthy is, I guess, the right word for it. And you can tell that, you know, the color hasn't been dyed, it hasn't been altered, and we're going to get really thin on this, but we're going to try it. And then this stuff polishes really, really well. I wonder if I have a... Yeah, I think I got a chunk here I can show. I'll bring this down as much as I can. Do a quick one on here, and we'll just take a look. I don't know, it's pretty rough. Pretty rough stuff. Well, it's popping. I don't know what we should do with the old bugs in the middle. I mean, I could chop it, but then I'm only going to end up with these little stones. So I think we're going to leave it the way it is. Maybe I can Dremel it out. Maybe I'll leave it natural. So I think the last time I looked, I'm just over 800 subscribers, and hopefully going to be hitting the 1,000 mark sometime soon, or soonish. And I don't know how I'm going to thank all of you. Got to come up with something. I haven't really thought about it. I didn't think I'd be this far along at this time of year. So thank you all so much. I mean, I'm sure it's going to have to be, you know, people who've subscribed. I don't know. I mean, I really appreciate anybody who's watched. So I'll decide that when we get there. I don't think I'm going to do anything where I ask you guys questions necessarily. It'll literally just be a random draw of some kind. I don't even know what it'll be for. Alright, so we got three buggy holes. This has so much more quartz than normal, but it's alright. Not my favorite. Just going around the girdle. So you can see how thin it is too, which is probably why I packed it. Really thin. We're probably at 3 to 4 millimeters, which you can't really go much thinner than that. Let's go over to the soft wheel and dig at it just a tad more. Very happy with the first two stones, so. Alright, take this up. So, sort of pressing with my right hand thumb, guiding with my left hand thumb, turning with the two fingers underneath, and trying to get the girdle all the way around the same height so it can be set while doing that, I'm getting a tiny bit of a dome to it. It's going to be pretty flat. It actually feels, so here's fine. The quartz I can feel is gritty, and it's a little gritty. Hi everybody, welcome in. I think this look is going to be more of like, hey everybody, you see my color, but then at the same time, you know I literally came out of the ground. Still almost got that sort of moony Mars surface. Maybe Mars, the quartz is red. Let's get a bit of exercise. Rounding the edge down a little. I'm going to have 3 pockets on this one. So I won't be able to examine this one, and I can't do the cerium on this one. But what I could possibly do is get to the 3,000 and maybe finish it up with an 8,000, 14,000 with my Dremel. Just to polish the turquoise edges. Is correct. I don't know if that was a or a I have some pumpkin bread inside with chocolate chips on it, buttercream icing, and what else do I have? Almonds sprinkled across the top. Very good. It's given to us, not as good as my wife's stuff, of course, but it was pretty good. Alright, shape's not bad. Got these crevices, let's clean that out. So this I have to leave as is for right now. I'll do it on the next 3 wheels. But it's pretty earthy is what I'm gonna call it. But 3 totally different kinds right here. Really happy with the first 2. Alright, what are we going to do next? I think let's try the lapis. So this could get pretty ugly. Pretty nice piece of lapis. It does have matrix in it, so it's got pyrite and matrix in it. Let's see how we do on this. Not want to turn. What happened? There we go. I forget how hard this is. Let's go out just a tad. There we go. About right there. Get my water on. Get a drink. So I hope everybody's having a great weekend. Hope you're listening to some music. Maybe some genie ASMR in the background. Which is the machine I'm working on. Alright, what are we going to do here? Could go that way. Go that way. That way, and we'll cut some of this matrix out. But I do like the contrast on it, so. Hi Annie, thank you. Yeah, it's pretty nice stuff. I think this was from the good old estate sale that I did from the doctors. See if that works. Let's get a little closer. So yeah, this was, I believe, Dr. Woodruff's material. Dr. Woodruff was a scientist, entomologist actually. Ooh, I forgot about that. So this smells like sulfur. I think it has sulfur in it, lapis. I forget what the mineral breakdown of it is, but I think it's got sulfur. We could look. Let me take a look. Let's see. So yeah, I did a estate sale where I went and bought too much, maybe 3 years ago, and I ended up working for them and selling stuff for them to pay my debt. And Dr. Woodruff was an entomologist, mostly worked with beetles, and then he was working in the Dominican Republic, so he came across Larimar with Senor Ortiz, and this is back in the 70s, and he ended up helping import the Larimar to the United States. Lapis is what I'm looking up, and so not only did he do that with the Larimar, but he ended up doing the amber as well, the blue cobalt Dominican amber, which I wish I'd bought more of it. Let me see, primary lazurite, which gives a blue color, calcite, white swirls, and pyrite, gold flecks, and fool's gold. And let me see if I can find the lapis chemistry. The lapis chemical formula. Aha, it's no silicone. Oh, it is in there. So, what is that? Sodium, calcium, aluminum, silicon oxide with a silicon oxide, a sulfur oxide, sulfur NH2O. So, the reason I'm smelling sulfur is it's got sulfur in it. And there we go. Let's keep cutting. Take off this edge. I'm going to angle it a little bit. Like lapis clay. Okay, I'm doing that. No, I don't want to do that way. Still not sure of my shape. Round off these corners. Maybe I'll get a better idea. Yes, lapis lazuli. Good stuff. Best stuff comes from Afghanistan. used to get traded a lot, and I'm talking centuries ago. It's a pretty cool shape. All the way around the edge, a little bit to go here. Is this going to make my hand blue for the next week? I don't think so. Alright, I like the shape. Let's bring that down just a little bit. And we're going to round up the girdle into a dome. Not very thick, so it's not really going to have a big dome. Thank you, Annie. I appreciate that. You can kind of see a little bit of pyrite showing up. Alright, so girdle's about 6 millimeters right now. And I'm just going to take off that top edge. Actually, I'm going to take off the bottom edge first, just so it doesn't chip out. Very light. See, and that just blended it in just a tiny bit there, and now I'm going to blend in this top, but a little more aggressive. I'm going to bring it down to about 3 millimeters on the girdle, I'm hoping. But I have to do that evenly all the way around, and that's the tricky. And I'm eyeballing it. In a little bit. Let's get a little bit closer so you can actually see what I'm doing on this one. I hope that's not too close for you guys. What I'm doing is just bringing down that angle right there. You can see that. Still got to go around this edge. So I thought it's going to end up being blacker on my in the water. It's more blue. So at least my fingernails will be blue for the week, not black. So just slowly going around that edge. I think you can see it better now. Still got that top edge to do here. Just enough. And I don't know if we have any potential lapidarists on here, but if you wanted to get into this, it is pretty easy to even do this with sandpaper. Just wet dry sandpaper. You get a bit of a workout, but it is possible. And it's no different than whittling or napping, which don't use machines. And then I would suggest getting into maybe dremeling along with sandpaper. And then if you're still interested in it, then you start moving into the machines and lapidary equipment. Unless you come across a deal that's just too good of a deal to give up, so that even if you decide that you don't want to use it, you can easily resell it. So, lots of ways to go in. There's something going on there, so I'm going to move. Well, I can feel a little, like one little, maybe diamond bit that's sticking out. So I need to wear that down a little bit, and we're going to use some amethyst. This is hard. It's gonna be very noisy. Oh, that's not bad. Nope. So I'm just doing that to take that nick out. There was a little nick going on. One day we'll cut this, we'll cut a slice off of this too, and we'll cab it out. Some pretty nice stuff. Alright. And make sure that nick wasn't making any big scratches, which it didn't. I'm just blending in that edge to the middle of the stone. Well, that's what I'm trying to do. Without taking too much off. Pretty nice stone. Start to see a little bit of glitter coming on. Go to the third wheel, and we can keep you in close. And because this is a soft wheel, it helps blend the facets out. Because if I push in, it sort of rounds, it does a little round. You know, you push in here, and it rounds that edge a little bit. Around the edge. And I can start doing the wiggle waggle a little bit. How are we doing on time? 1:20. Wow, thank you all for being here. Much appreciated. So honored with anybody that spends any time over here. And looks like we should have enough material to have some pretty neat lives going on for the next 6 months or so. If anybody has any special requests as far as material, maybe even something that's really difficult to do, I'd love to source it out if I don't already have it, and we can all work on it together. I like doing materials that I haven't worked with before. It just gives me that experience. That's nice. No dome on here. Just a very, very slight rise to the middle. But you don't really need a dome when that's pointed at you. You see the chatoyance in there too? This is actually a really nice piece. And you got the pyrite going all the way through. That's pretty nice. Rounding this with a little facet on the top. Alright, what else have we got? I forgot. That's 4. I'd like to get at least 5 out today. Could do the green. Alright, so that's 4. That one's definitely a bit rough. The ribbon's really nice. This turquoise is really nice. This one a little rough. So this one is similar to this stuff. These are just much nicer pieces. Maybe we do one of these. There you go. That's what we'll do. So I'm looking for a good piece. That'll work. Bit thin. But we'll do it anyway. What else have I got in the bag? We got Lapis done. Let's do this Nila. So I think it's the same material. I'm not 100% sure on this one. This is definitely Nila and it comes from Nevada. I don't know if this will come out clean or not. Sometimes this comes out without any matrix in it, and sometimes it keeps the matrix. So. Hi everybody, welcome in. So I've done a few pieces. Now we're going to do, I think my favorite, I don't have one really. The ribbon came out really nice. That's Royston. The Lapis came out really nice. It's from Afghanistan. This one came out really nice, but I'm really unsure. It's similar to blackjack, but it's blue. So, and there is blue blackjack out there. So let's move in just a tiny bit on this one. Whew, which way do we go? I guess I'm going to flatten this out first. One of my favorite materials to work with. Hi everybody, welcome in. This is from RA Stoneworks. I haven't seen Steve come in yet. Weldon, welcome. Khalifa, I think it is. Welcome in. Let's just say 2347 and 5732. Welcome in. There's a peek at the color. That is the, we'll see. That might be the back. I'm not going to flatten that out anymore. I say, and then I go and flatten it out a little bit more. It's getting pretty thin, so I don't know. It may end up needing to be back. Although it is a stabilized material. But I love the way that they do their stabilization, and it's really nice stuff to work with. So I can't take it into that bug. We're going to work down from the top here, see if we can find something. Let's go around the edge. Clean it up a little. And do I bring it in like that, or do I just take that out? I'm doing that. Just rough shaping it here. Right. new to the channel, welcome in. Channel name is SirRocksAlot. I come on live on Sundays and Thursdays. If you want to get notification, go ahead, hit the subscribe, and then hit that notification bell. If not, just check it out. 1:30ish on Sundays and about 5:30 Eastern Standard Time on Thursday. Okay, now we got a basic shape. Still got that cave in there that I might fill in. It's going to be pretty thin once we take this top off, so let's move over a wheel. I don't want to take it off too quick. There we go. And after this one, I think we're going to try the pyrite Persian, or maybe Iranian Persian turquoise. It's going to get mucky. Mucky but fun. I might have to put some different gloves on. Yeah, everybody ready for a peek? Here we go on the peak. And that's what we're going to go after. So I'd like to try and keep some of that matrix in there. It could turn out really nice. So you can see how low these little cavities go here and here. So I've got to bring it down a little bit there. That looks good. That looks good. Yeah, it's pretty nice, Annie. I like this stuff. I still have some more of it. A couple of big pieces that well, I did one big piece previously that was big enough for a belt buckle, but I might make a cup out of it. I'm really kind of saving the other big stuff for when I've got into silversmithing a little bit. Let's see how we're doing. Alright, so it looks good. I mean, it's still rough on the edges, but that lid, that face is pretty good. So now let's clean it up around the edges, get the height consistent, and the girdle height consistent all the way around. And the girdle, I gotta give it like a 7 to 11 degree angle, so silver or copper or whatever it gets mounted into can grab a hold of it. I'm actually going to even that out from the bottom. Looking nice. Annie, do you have a channel? I see you have old vintage. Are you a reseller? Going really soft now, just evening everything up. 67 people in here again. I don't know what all that was about, but it was the new word of what, 2025. All right. Let's go on, just move over one more. Sound like me. So I do a lot of estate sales too, Annie. I haven't taken any booths before. I have sold. Well, that's not true. I took a couple of booths out in a place that's no longer there. What was it called? I think it's called the Painted Table. But I used to get everything I could that I thought I could make $10 off of. And a lot of it's gone. And then I got into antique books. Not so much out of choice, but I saw them getting thrown away a lot in one of my jobs. And I couldn't bear to see all these journals and books from the 1800s and early 1900s just get wasted. It just didn't make sense to me. And that's probably 15 years ago. And they're still throwing them out. Libraries are throwing out their books. They're definitely throwing out their copies of their books that they have already in their itinerary. And then everything's getting digitally scanned, and hopefully we'll be able to keep it on somebody's server somewhere. But unfortunately, it also means you have to pay to get access. But so I had a lot of books, and then I love antiques, jewelry, I actually like some really nice glass that I like, and ceramics, but I had to cut back on the ceramics. Ceramics are difficult because it's hard to recognize the artist, even though they put their squiggly lines in the bottom. Yeah, I think you either have a connection to Native American items or you don't. I love the spiritual side of it as well. And so if you don't know Wendy Wolfwalker, she has a fascinating channel. She has a fantastic knowledge and experience through having owned her own trading post for jewelry. But she still has her connections down in New Mexico. This is turning out great. So yeah, Wendy Wolfwalker is a fantastic channel. Let's get a quick picture of this. Yeah, very happy with that. It's still got a little bug in the bottom, but I think we're going to leave it. It is stable, and this one is ready for the next 3. So I think we're going to try the pyrite. I probably shouldn't, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it. So that's pretty neat. Pretty happy with those. So that's 5, and now we're going to go into danger zone. Where is that? Alright, I might have to get gloves on for this one and everything. So there's so this is Iranian or Persian turquoise. Let me get my gloves on. I might as well start with my gloves. Even though I got finger things on, it's probably going to get pretty mucky. And let's see how it goes. Let's try it. We'll give it a little practice, and then we'll go. Let me talk about it real quick. So, Persian turquoise, a lot of pyrite, but you'll also find that it has this almost looks like concrete matrix. That's not man-made in here. This is just the type of matrix that they have over there, and it goes throughout the stones. So taking a zone and getting just the turquoise and pyrite is not the easiest thing. So I'm hoping like this piece right here, because I could see that little band going through there, is going to come out before it joins up to this big thick piece on the bottom. And yeah, I gotta put gloves on for this. Let me do this. I don't want to put the gloves on, but I know what kind of mess this is about to make. So while we're doing that, I appreciate you all coming in. It's fascinating to me that you guys want to spend some time with me. Or maybe it's not me, maybe it's the rocks and a little bit of me. So I'm quite chuffed by the whole matter. And you can hear I'm struggling to get these on. Okay. Gloves, done. We're gonna, well, I'm not backing it up, so. Now I got the gloves on, I can't really do much with this phone. Now this one's gonna be Iranian turquoise. But I do a lot of everything for it. Opal. We just did some lapis. I got some really strange stuff right here, which is called pea brain. And if we have enough time, I might get into that. All right, let's try this. I'm hoping the blue comes out like that, but I really don't know what's underneath here, so you guys are gonna see it for the first time, just like me. So I don't know how many millions of years that is, but here we go. Let me put a little extra water. I appreciate you sticking around while I prep myself up here. But having cut this stuff before, you'll understand in a minute. Two of the messiest things is pyritized turquoise and boulder opal. Here we go. I'm really hoping on this one. Pretty soft. I'm hoping it doesn't break into pieces. You can see that's dark. That smudges that's coming off. I'm gonna try and make this a whole piece. The pyrite, again, I can smell sulfur. The same with all the other stones. Oh, I just got a small glimpse of the color. Oh, okay. So look at dark and nasty. All right, lucky number 61 and 61 just popped up. So that's kind of the shape. And I'm hoping we're going to get better color than I can see right now. We're just going to take that top. Here we go with the top. I'm hoping it's going to pop out, but I really don't know. color of that stuff. I wonder how something so dark and grungy is gonna produce something that's really nice to look at. At least that's what I'm hoping. That's okay. I really appreciate you coming in, Coat. I know you get to see some pretty amazing stones over there. You probably have better access to Persian turquoise than we do here in the States. Alright. Bringing that down. So this is just a rough shape, and it's ugly. I'm not getting the blue that I was hoping for. I mean, it's not bad. Let's move over just a little bit. I'm gonna wash off my gloves so I can move the phone. There you go. Okay, so I think it's going to be alright, what I think. Just got to bring this top down enough. I think we got a sort of blending of blue shades, or shades of blue. Almost ready to do a show. I've still got plenty to work with on top here. That came down a little bit, but it's alright. And now it just looks black or dark gray at this point. I can't imagine working with this stuff all day, every day. Alright, let's take a peek. I'm going to wash off in the other water as well. Okay, well, I'm going to have to do something here because right now, still got that concretion on the top, which is a shame. So, I think I can get through that concretion and down underneath it. So this color down this end is lovely. So let's see. And this was the weird thing about Iranian turquoise. You got the pyrite and that concretion that literally looks like concrete. That's just part of the matrix, like this on the back. So I could almost do a piece like that, which I might do, but we're going to try and see if we can get some more of this sort of gray concrete off this top. And that's what comes from trying to learn to read a stone. So really you're trying to read what Mother Nature put together. And it's not always easy. And some of that just comes from experience. I believe if I can get underneath that concrete, it should look pretty good. I just got to get underneath it before something else pops up with it. That's the difficult part. Getting there a little bit. But man. I don't know if we're going to get it. It's trying. Not an easy piece to work with. Yeah, I know, Ryan. I might end up doing that. So I've got this piece right here as well. It's starting to show. Let me get this. That's coming out on that edge. You can kind of see it coming through here, but I don't know if we're going to make it. Let's see. I don't want to get too aggressive. I'll screw it all up. Alright, so if this concrete got less, then I may continue to keep it as a single stone. If it's not coming out, then I'm going to have to cut it. Which I don't know if we're going to do that today. Man, that stuff sticks. So it's coming out. I like this lump, but I don't know how deep it goes. I know that's there, so let me keep going here. Thanks for everybody's patience that stuck around. Sometimes it's not instant gratification. Hey, tablet. Is it getting smaller? I think so. Yes, they do sometimes. I have glasses on. And I'm off. And yes, they split sometimes. You can get almost to the end and it'll split. Which is why on something like this, Annie, that was so thin, it was best to back it in the first place. And this is just a JB Weld. People have different ways of backing their stones. Alright, I'm going to bring this down. Okay, right now all it's good with dirty the water up pretty good. It's getting there. I'm gonna pop in through the cracks there a little bit. Still might end up having to cut it in two. And that's why I'm not going to take that dome that I have down the bottom out, because I would have to do this with this stone anyway to get this top off. But I probably should be listening to Ryan right now for sure. Okie dokie, maybe not. That made a big difference. I'm messing with that dome a little bit. Let's see. Am I going to get a whole stone? Come on. Ooh, looky, looky. Except you can see where that concrete goes all the way to the top right there. So all that's got to come out. It doesn't have to come out. Just make it a little bit nicer. So what I'm doing right now is going to give it a little bit of a fried egg appearance on the edge, but it'll show me how much I have to bring it in. I might have to move wheel now too. Come on. Yeah. See it bringing in there, and they're getting thin. Right. Come on. I don't want to go through it all. Alright, I think I'm going to the next wheel. Ah, my phone's a mess. Wow, that's fantastic. So we're up to 844. So let's go for 850. 850 for the weekend would be awesome. It'll give me what, 150 away? Just getting the facets out now. Pretty ugly. Yeah. I don't know how well that's going to work. It's still pretty cabinety. And all that has to come out, so we might end up chopping it like Ryan suggested. Let's do that a little bit, just one last time. And this was really just a show and tell on this piece to explain sort of how the matrices around the world change. Not terrible. A lot of work to be done on it. Oh, that's got to go. Got to come down here. Got to come in over here. Yeah, there's a lot of work to be done on this one, but not completely terrible. So let's. I'm gonna try, if you don't mind. I'm gonna run outside. It shouldn't take me too long. You might hear me in the background. I'm going to try and cut a piece of this off. I think I'm just going to go right through here, through there, yep, and go down and through here. Shouldn't take me too long. Now let's see, maybe you can come with me. Why not? Alright, let's see if we can do this without losing you. Alright, let's see if we can move outside real quick. I'm right with you. See if we can do this. Come on. I think that's about as good as we're going to get right there. Bam. Come over a little bit. Oh, shoot. So I did not prepare this tripod, and I just lost it somehow. Yes. No. Maybe. I hope I don't lose you. Let me see if this is on. Loud noise. No. Plug it in. Plugged in. So this is a piece of pea brain. This is from Steve from Wisconsin. It's when he was driving around, I think, Arizona, and had to get out of the truck to go take a leak, and he ended up taking a whiz on a big old rock. And when he did that, he saw color. So this is now the pea brain. So let me cut a few slices off here real quick. Bit breaky. I just chopped it up for further times, but chopped pretty good. A couple of fractures in the end, but that's kind of expected. So let's go back inside. Hold on, I'm not cutting any more of this today. So see if we can do this. I'll try not to lose you. Ready? Doop. All right, let's go back inside real quick. Just got caught. All right, back to the machine. Thanks for hanging out. I know we lost a few people, but it's okay. Hey, Aaron, how you doing? I did get a little bit on Dave's stuff yesterday. Mostly turquoise. I have some to work with, but it's always good to without the shows, and I don't have easy access to sort of the West, Midwest, Southwest shows like everybody else does. I could, but it would take me like a day and a half to get there. So I think we're going to try this piece. Lovely color. And we're going to go straight in here. Yeah, Aaron, I don't know if you saw the pea brain story from one of the sales. This was from Steve's sale that he did with Dave up in Wisconsin. Now, I know you just saw some of the stuff that came back from Wisconsin, and this was one of the extras I got from that. That was from Steve's daughter. She helped out with the sale too and put up with Dave and everybody. And super nice people. And this is just some pieces I hadn't got to, and that's a year and a half. So no, this is honestly, I don't know the true name for this stone. It's not turquoise. It actually has a metallic sheen to it. And I don't know, never cut it before. They never really found out what it was, other than somebody peed on it on the side of the road and saw the colors come out. So it should be good. Let's see how we do. So this is the 80 grit. And Aaron, thanks for all the help that you give Dave, especially yesterday and last night. It's not the easiest thing to do, I don't think. It might be. It has a metallic sheen in there, though. And there's no... like most of the serpentine that I know, and maybe I'm wrong, almost has some areas of translucency. I don't know. I mean, so it was found, I think, in Arizona. Put my mask back on. I don't know this material. What do I do with it? Is it here? Okay. Mask is back on. And Aaron, I saw some pretty nice tabs that you kicked out as well. I don't know, are they doing a sale? I don't know if they're doing a sale again tonight at Don's. I did win that piece of Pietra fire agate, which was neat. Oh, well, I cut into my own stone, so that wasn't good. So all that's got to go. Alright, good. I've been cutting a lot of turquoise lately, and we did a piece of lapis today, a piece of Royston ribbon that came out really nice, and then this pea brain. So I'm definitely going to have to update my wheels a little bit, because some of the materials I want to work on are really hard. Like working on agates and stuff and petrified woods. I'm gonna have to get the like a hex 80 or a hex 60 if they're available. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, Aaron, I don't know if you call it a lucky person, but I try to keep my karma intact. And you do that by the people around you, do that with the people that you interact with, and part of keeping my sanity is how I react to others, not necessarily how people portray themselves to me. Still got that notch where I cut into it. I gotta get that out. So right now I'm just doing the main shape. Taking that out. I decided that. Yeah, it's tough to understand, Darren, until you get it, you know. And I kind of understand where Dave's at a little bit. And we all love him to death. All right, this way. Oh, this way. This way. This way. Yeah, he's far more thoughtful than people understand. And unfortunately, people take advantage of that sometimes too. But I know the people he's been hanging out with this week are really good influence. So Pepper, Ray, Dawn, yourself, Rocka, you know, these are all fantastic people. All right, that way or that way. Yeah, it's not easy. You know, it's an odd platform to be selling on. You got people that may be closer and have closer servers, or they have better internet than some of us. I think I must have refreshed, goodness, I don't know how many times last night. Anytime I made a comment, I refreshed. I'm telling everybody my way, but that's okay. Alright, I'm going to start taking this down a little bit. Is that, yeah, that's the right side. And you know, when it's just comments in the chat, you never know what people are thinking. You may interpret it differently than the way it's written. And that's just in general, that's like texting people, writing emails. Very difficult to interpret somebody's tone just from written words. Unless, of course, you say, I'm very happy that you did this, or I'm angry that you did this, but yeah, mine's usually, I see people, I'm like, how the hell, he hadn't even said anything yet. It's like, what the dickens? How did they do that? And I think, so Ryan, here's something, and I don't know if it's true or not. So when you first go into chat, you're usually in top messages. And when you move to all messages, I think in that millisecond of changing to all messages, you end up losing a little bit of time lapse in there. Just in making that request. So the only time I switch back over to all messages is when there's the giveaways and things like that. Or if somebody has said that this person is before this person, because that's what they see in their own chat. But if you click into all messages and it resets it, you'll see that the majority of the time people are not in line where they think they are. Yeah, I did. And that's all because of ET, Aaron. She kept trying to ask me to do it, but last time I did it, so last time he did it, I don't know how long ago, it's like a year. And it was like, I think 50, 25 or 50. And yeah, I think it does too. And then sometimes you'll jump in and there's a commercial, or at least on mine, because I'm not on premium. And so then I have to sit and wait for a commercial to get to skip, and then now I'm already behind. Aaron, but last time he walked down, I forget where it was, and I forget who he was with. I think it had to be Tucson or New Mexico, because it was a hotel that had some absolutely fantastic, or casino that had some absolutely fantastic Native American jewelry in display cases. I still have pictures on my phone of this stuff. But, yeah, I think I suggested to do 7-8. I think it's 11-12 in a 4-block. And he put it on that, and then boom, it was gone. So I did not want to be the one choosing last night, as lucky as I may be. But, yeah, ET did really well. Yeah, because not only do you have the pressure of losing the money, but then everybody's watching, and I think they, could be 100 or 200 people. And then, yeah. And I'm going to bring out Roto Pig in one of these lives. I was the fortunate one to win the Roto Pig. I think it walked here. It took very long. It took like 3-4 months to get here. Oh, shoot. I gotta bring that in. I just hit the edge of my wheel. And I put a little groove in there. Yeah, I don't know if you saw. I was at an estate sale about 2 weeks after I got it, and there was a baby Roto piglet, so I had to get that. Uh-oh, somebody got that. So that was a YouTube zapping. That wasn't a moderator zapping. And it may or may have not been too bad, but I cannot pull it back up because my fingers are too wet. Hi, North Star. It would take a long, well, it wouldn't take too long. It may be one of my favorite things that I've won. It's definitely in the top 3. And I think E.T. was saying how I needed to be more lucky when I'm pretty good. I'll tell you, I have a piece from one of Don's sales right over here. It was a freebie. Yeah, I know. And then the box, there was a box that had the Lapis pipe in there, which I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with a Lapis pipe. Maybe I'll give it away. And then watch me get busted for selling paraphernalia. And then there were like 3 big chunks of rock. There was like smoky quartz. I forget what the other 2 pits were. But yeah, I wish they would do that more often. That was a fun little game they played when they went to that event. Alright. That's looking pretty good. I'm just going to take this bottom edge off a little bit, but it's looking really nice. Yeah, I got a pretty long session today. We're already at 2 hours, 2:20. I get a long weekend this weekend, which is great. So over to the soft wheel. Diamond Pacific Nova soft wheel. So this just helps take out the facets. Pretty much the same amount of grit as that last wheel for me. Man, I hate gloves. Drive me nuts. But I say that, and then I got one that. See how pretty those nails are now? It's all the pyrite we've done today. So I'll keep my left hand clean, I guess. And Aaron, you've been pushing out some cabs. They're looking pretty good. Really good. Thank you, North. Yes, this is. I think you've been watching since this material came out. It is nicknamed P-Brain. P as in PEE. This was a slab we just cut. And it was Steve from Wisconsin, which you will see him occasionally in the chat. But he's the only person I know that doesn't have a name, doesn't have a dot, doesn't have a spanner or a wrench. He just has no name. And he pops in occasionally, kind of like Sam's. But he was down visiting, I think it was Arizona, and out in the middle of nowhere, and stopped on the side of the road to take a quick leak and peed on a stone, and this was the stone he peed on, out in the middle of nowhere. So, really nice stuff. I got a couple little facets I can feel. And I guess, I don't know, should I go longer? I could go longer. We could take all these over to the next 3 stations. That'll be a pretty long session now. Yeah, I gotta go back to our airport. I found an agate over in the airport, I don't know when it was, 6 months ago. And I need to go back over there. And then I need to find out where the city sourced their tumbled rocks to put in the parking lot. Maybe I ought to find out a big old pile of it somewhere. Back up. Alright, that's good. I don't know if you can quite see the shimmer. So the black matrix has a hematite or pyrite sheen to it. I think it's hematite. But it's almost like a, what is it, manganese oxide, kind of like the rhodonite. So, here's a picture of that, I think. Then, let's just turn that off for a second. See if there's anything else I need to cut. I don't see anything else. I've got some, a little bit of show and tell kind of stuff. Thank you, North. Alright, there goes the glove. So, I don't see Steve in here, but I had promised that I was going to show him this. Let's go over here. Let's go over to what's started off as a nice clean table this morning. Ooh, come on. Good goodness. No. There you go. Moving over, I think. Sorry about this. There we go. I gotta like undo 3. Uh-oh. 4 different things to get you here. Dun, dun. Alright, do you hear that noise? Does anybody know what that noise was? That bird that was in the back. That is a giant woodpecker. And then the neighbor's kid. So, let's see what we did today. This one, still rough. Nasty rough. Actually, North, you may know what kind of woodpecker it is, but it's a woodpecker. Almost sounds like a monkey, cackling monkey sometimes. So, is that all of it? 1, 2, I'm missing one. Nila. Pretty nice stuff. Let me get a quick pick of this. Then we'll take a look at a few other things. And I think we'll call it a day. That'll be 2.5 hours. So go on and polish these. We'll do this on, maybe we'll do this tonight or tomorrow morning. But we got turquoise unknown. Nice piece of lapis. Really nice piece of ribbon. Iranian Persian did not come out well. This, I think, it's unknown and came out okay. And then the Nila that came out really nice. I love this stuff. Some of my favorite. So, let's have a look. So, from the estate sale that I always talk about, there are a couple little things I got. And I really brought one of them out to show Steve. I think it's Pollock. Ah, you're there. I just mentioned you, Steve. So, I know you did your resin last night, and I know for like 3 lives I've been talking about the estate sale. So let's have a look at this stuff. So I grabbed this because somebody had started to sort of double it. Why they put that, I don't know. This is old school 1970s. So they put resin over the top, which I think it would be better to put some optical quartz or something similar to that to make triplets out of. I have zero idea what kind of plastic they use for the back here, but all this stuff had color in it, and the little just chop off pieces. But I mean, shoot, just those 3 pieces. I mean, and please understand this is on the phone, and a lot of times opal doesn't show up on the phone. So actually we can do this, I think. Let's see. No. Trying to see if I can undo the exposure, but I can't. So, okay. Yeah, these are, I got a lot of it. So this was the way he was doing it. I'm not sure what the jeweler was using it as, but all of it had color in it. So I'm thinking of maybe doing a resin on it, putting this in the bottom, and then, I don't know, making some animal shape that can be hung from a necklace or something. So I got to go through it all. I mean, look at that. I haven't been through this. Yeah, inlay, for sure. And I did see 53 Frogs do a couple. The problem is I'm going to have to try and see if I can take off the resin on the top. I don't know, I got to experiment with a few. I got a little bit of it. So, when I get there. And this was just the cut-offs of the doublets is how he labeled it. To go along with that, though, you get into some other stuff. Yes, opal. It was all black opal. This is pretty neat. This was just a little inlaid shell that he did. This is not, well, I'm not sure what the blue is, if it's just resin. I think it's just resin. But they took that shell, and that's pretty neat. Just shell on the back. So yeah, there were things at this estate sale. I had no idea what I was going to do with them back then. Maybe I still don't, but I knew they'd be of use at some point. So this is how they did used to do doublets. Some of the time was they'd take the old records. I have no idea what's on this record. And then they would inlay like that. So this I'm just keeping like this. because that's just, I don't know, that's fun. I could put a hole in it, hang it around my neck, like I'm some expensive, well-to-do record executive. Yeah, some neat colors in here. And that's it for show and tell today. So I'm going to finish off those stones. Yeah, they use it. It's pretty hard and it's thick enough, so it gives you a nice thick base on it. And then they'd either put optical glass on top, clear quartz on top. Well, they wouldn't put anything on top and just leave it as a double. You know, I got some other pieces in here we should do. So this is an old school Dave cab. Let's do this. I've got some other pieces in here. Where are you? This was one I found at an estate sale. Where are you? So I found this at an estate sale. I think I paid $20. This was a local one, and I wasn't sure whether it was turquoise or chrysoprase. I mean chrysocolla. So I did chop it just to see, and it's got that nuggety goodness right here. So that to me was looking like turquoise, and then on the inside, kapow! Look at that. Don't know where it comes from. I'm assuming the States somewhere. But we're going to cut that maybe this week. Yeah, this stuff's really nice, Annie. And it looks like it goes all the way through. Let's do a quick picture for myself here. Just so I have it. Oh. Alright, let's go back. I don't know why that flicked up SirRocksAlot, but that's good. So yeah, if you're new to the channel, SirRocksAlot, I go lives on Sundays and Thursdays. If you hit that subscribe and the like button, you will be notified. And then the other one, so I don't necessarily know the provenance on this one either. Me too. I'm ready to start digging now. I just don't know if my back will do it. I'm going to work on that starting January, for sure. So this is another chunk I found. I think it was the same estate sale. Like everybody's looking for jewelry and silver and other stuff, and they walk by rocks quite a lot. So it's my only way of truly rock counting. Oops. So this stuff I also cut, and then I reached out to Dave, so we can't guarantee that this is what he thinks it is. So it was just a suggestion. But along with that blue one, I found this one. I think I paid less for this one than the blue one. And we'll cut this probably on Thursday. And we'll cut a piece of this, but this inside was really nice too. Look at that. So it has been suggested that this is quite lightly calico lake, which made it a very expensive rock. So I will cab a few and then keep the other one as a specimen. I do, Annie, a lot of times, but the rock itself, I'm getting better at knowing what's inside. if that makes any sense, where I can anticipate what's inside. And we do little sessions outside from time to time where we just cut rocks. In fact, I think we'll be doing one soon. I have a couple of geodes to cut. I have some Florida coral to cut, the agatized coral. And yeah, I like to get small rocks because I only have a small saw. Maybe one day I'll get lucky and come across a big saw that somebody just needs to get moved, because they are really expensive. So yeah, thank you all for coming today. I really appreciate it. Do you? Well, so I don't know if you've seen lately, I think it's J&V Rock Hounding, and I'm gonna say Jacob's Rock Smithery, maybe Jason's Rock Smithery, or Josh, I think. Anyway, I think it used to be Agate Bay, and he switched his channel, and he just visited down in Florida, and so he was doing a lot of coral. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate you popping in, and like you said, I'm probably just chop that one in too. And yeah, obsidian's pretty good. I forget, it's basalt, I think it is, or a type of basalt. It's not quite as fractury as obsidian, but a decent color on it. Thanks for all the hearts. It was Agate Dad, okay. So yeah, Agate Dad was down here, and he was showing, I think he went to, I asked the name of the place. Ruskin's, I think it is. Rustic, where you get the calcified seashells, clams. It's Central Florida somewhere. And then most of the agatized coral comes out of South Florida, Southwest Florida, in Tampa, Sarasota, St. Pete area. And they do actually dive off the coast a lot of time and do that. Is it Fort Drum? Yeah, I'd love to do that little trip. But I mean, I like calcified shells, but only to a certain extent. Whereas some of the colors that come out of the agatized corals are just absolutely fantastic. I don't know if any of you watch Wild Kyle. You should watch Wild Kyle. He runs around Florida, doing everything from, megalodon to fossils, bottles, all kinds of little trips through the swamps and such. So it's pretty neat. Yeah, and he's a really nice guy, really nice, kind guy, and he's done really well with YouTube, and well deserved. And he's sort of spread out a little bit. He goes up and visits his family up in Michigan too, but takes the long road on the way up and stops, and very, very knowledgeable, especially about his fossils and his Latin terminology and everything. So, all right, everybody, thank you so much. Appreciate you all participating. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the weekend. Thanks to the vets. We wouldn't be here without that. And yeah, you all take care of yourselves. Most of all, take care of each other, and we'll see you in the next one. So if you have any questions or want to put in the chat something you'd like to do in the future, go ahead and do that. Hit the like on the way out, and thank you, Aaron. I'm sure we'll chat again soon too. All right, North Star, thank you. Steven, thank you. Ryan, thank you. My Captiva that was here earlier, thank you. Risha, everybody that said hi, thank you. And a special thanks to Freckle Cat. So cheers now. I might come on tomorrow, who knows. Cheers. Love you all.